In our last session, we discussed the laws of vibrating string. So we discussed the 5 laws by using these two formulae. याच्यावरती एंट्रन्स साठी एमसीक्यू जे आहे ते कोणकोणत्या प्रकारचे येतात. तर पहिला कंपॅरिझनचे क्वेश्चन्स येतात, प्रपोर्शनॅलिटीचा एक क्वेश्चन येतो, त्यानंतर ग्राफचं नेचर जे आहे त्या ग्राफच्या नेचर वरती एमसीक्यू येतो आणि पर्सेंटेज वरती एमसीक्यू येतो. अशा वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे एमसीक्यू या टॉपिक वरती येतात. तर प्रत्येक लॉ वरती कमीत कमी 5 थिओरिटिकल एमसीक्यू आपल्याला क्रिएट करता येतात. म्हणून अतिशय महत्त्वाची अशी 2 फॉर्म्युले आहेत. So by using the first formula n is equal to 1 upon 2l under root t by m, we discuss the 3 laws. And then by using the second formula n is equal to 1 upon 2 lr under root t upon pi into rho, we discuss the 2 laws. So total 5 laws we discuss here. Now our next topic is the sonometer experiment. For entrance we just discuss the brief analysis of the sonometer experiment. So what is the sonometer experiment? The sonometer experiment is the experiment used to verify the laws of vibrating string. Means we verify the laws of vibrating string by using the sonometer experiment. So what is that sonometer experiment? थिओरिटिकल एमसीक्यू साठी फक्त आपण एक थोडासा डिस्कशन करूया त्याचं. की वन hollow wooden box is there. For that hollow wooden box, few holes are provided. So these are the few holes provided for that wooden box. Then pulley is attached to one end of that box, and to the another end a fixed metal strip is attached. Now take one string. That string is attached to this fixed support and then it passes over the pulley. Then that string passes over the pulley. Pan is attached to the lower end in order to add the weight. So this is the experimental arrangement, and 2 supporters called as the bridges or knife edges denoted by K1 and K2. So these K1 and K2 are the bridges or supporters. So here this is the sonometer experimental arrangement. So length of the string is nothing but the distance between the point at which we pick the string and up to this span. This is the length of the string. But what is the vibrating length of the string? So here vibrating length of the string is nothing but the distance between the 2 knife edges. So this distance is the vibrating length of the string. Means we set up the stationary waves. We set up the stationary waves only between these 2 knife edges, not over the whole length of the string, and that is why vibrating length of the string is the distance between K1 and K2. So now how to perform the experiment? So we perform this experiment to verify the laws of vibrating string. So what is our first law? The fundamental frequency is inversely proportional to the vibrating length of the string. For that we kept T and M constant. The T and M constant means what? Tension imparted to the string is kept constant and linear density is kept constant. How? The linear density kept constant means we use the same wire throughout the experiment. We use the same wire throughout the experiment, so linear density is kept constant. And tension kept constant means weight added in the pan is kept constant. So these 2 factors kept constant. Tension means weight in the pan, and use the same string. Now take the different tuning forks. having different frequencies, say N1, N2, N3 and so on. And for every tuning fork, find the vibrating length, that is the distance between the two knife edges. So take the tuning fork, set that tuning fork into vibration and keep the tuning fork on the box. But before that, paper riders kept on the string between K1 and K2. And now, adjust the distance between K1 and K2 at which that paper rider is thrown from the string. So at the moment at which these paper riders thrown from the string, resonance occur. Means what? The frequency of the tuning fork and frequency of vibration of the particles of the strings are equal. So for that, measure the distance between K1 and K2, that is the vibrating length of the string. So in first case it is say L1, for second tuning fork we say L2 and so on. Then we observe that the product N1, L1, N2, L2, N3, L3 and N4, L4 remains same. So this shows that NL is equal to constant, and as NL is equal to constant, N is inversely proportional to the length. This is the process to verify. एंट्रन्स साठी आपल्याला हे व्हेरिफिकेशन उपयोगाचं नाहीये, पण हा फॉर्म्युला फक्त मेथड लक्षात असावी की सोनोमीटर एक्सपेरिमेंट इज यूज्ड टू व्हेरीफाय द लॉज ऑफ व्हायब्रेटिंग स्ट्रिंग. असाच आपण सेकंड लॉ देखील व्हेरीफाय करू शकतो की फंडामेंटल फ्रिक्वेन्सी इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू द स्क्वेअर रूट ऑफ द टेन्शन. सो and third one is it is inversely proportional to the square root of the linear density. So all the three laws we verify by using the sonometer experiment. So this is the sonometer experiment. Entrance साठी आपल्याला याच्यावरती विशेष काय नाही, फक्त फॉर्म्युले आपण जे डिस्कस केले होते लॉज मध्ये तीच फॉर्म्युले आपल्याला सोनोमीटर एक्सपेरिमेंट व्हेरीफाय करता येतात. So this is the importance of the sonometer experiment. Now we discuss the Melday's experiment, means the last topic related to the transverse stationary waves. So Melday's experiment is also the demonstration of the stationary wave. जसं सोनोमीटर एक्सपेरिमेंट वरून आपण स्टेशनरी वेव्ह कशा तयार होतात ते पाहिलंय, तशाच प्रकारानं मेल्डेज एक्सपेरिमेंट देखील स्टेशनरी वेव्हचं एक डेमॉन्स्ट्रेशन आहे. So in Melday's experiment only a tuning fork and the string is used. So here we consider the three parts. First is the general part. So in case of a Melday's experiment, one tuning fork is used. Now one string is attached to one prong of that tuning fork and that string passes over the pulley and its lower end of pan is attached to add the weight. But this is the experimental arrangement of the Melday's experiment. Some part which is used to set the tuning fork into vibration is not shown in figure. म्हणजे आपण हा ट्यूनिंग फॉर्क जो सेट करायचा आहे तो मेकॅनिकल मेथडनं सेट करत नाहीये. Electrical method is used to set the tuning fork, but that is not the part of our discussion. So this is the experimental arrangement of the Melday's experiment. There are two possibilities. So tuning fork is held vertical and tuning fork is held horizontal. So these are the two positions. So what is the difference between these two positions? So first we consider the general part. Set the tuning fork into vibration by electrical method. So when you set that tuning fork into vibration, transverse simple harmonic progressive wave is formed. That progressive wave propagates over the string and gets reflected from the pulley. Original and the reflected wave gets superimposed and a stationary wave is formed over the string. So in this case, suppose we assume that two loops are formed. Here in second case, again you follow the same process. Set the tuning fork into vibration. Simple harmonic transverse, simple harmonic progressive wave is formed, which gets reflected from the pulley. So original and reflected wave gets superimposed. So this first figure is called as the parallel position. And second one is called as the perpendicular position. So these are the two positions in case of a Melday's experiment. So in both the positions, one part is general. Suppose over the string we assume that p number of loops are formed. Number of loops formed over the strings are say p. We know that length of one loop is lambda by 2. Velocity of the wave over the string is v is equal to under root T by m. T for tension, m for linear mass density. So over the string we assume that p loops are formed. Length of one loop is lambda by 2, velocity is v by tm. Therefore, what is the frequency of vibrating string? So it is denoted by letter n. So n is equal to v by lambda. Therefore, we get n is equal to, put the value of lambda here. So as the length of one loop is lambda by 2 and such a p loops are formed, it is clear that length of the vibrating length of the string v is equal to p into lambda by 2. एका लूप ची लेंथ लॅम्बडा बाय 2 आहे. असे p लूप्स तयार झाले तर टोटल लेंथ l येईल p टाइम्स लॅम्बडा बाय 2. याच्यावर लॅम्बडा ची व्हॅल्यू येते 2l अपॉन p. So put here, so we get p upon 2l under root t by m. So this is the frequency of the vibrating string. This is the general part. Now we consider the two positions. आपण थोडंसं ब्रीफ मध्ये डिस्कस करूयात, आवश्यकता नाहीये. So in case of a parallel position, what happens here? The prong vibrates back and forth in a horizontal plane. Particle of the string vibrates up and down and wave propagates over the string. So these two directions are parallel, therefore this position is called as the parallel position. While in second case, particle vibrates up and down, prong also vibrates up and down and wave propagates along the string. So therefore this position is called as the perpendicular position. So in parallel position, frequency of the tuning fork and frequency of the vibrating strings are not same. In case of a parallel position, frequency of the string and frequency of the tuning forks are not same. So here we use the word letter capital N for frequency of the fork. So what is the frequency of the tuning fork? Is denoted by letter capital N, and frequency of the string is denoted by letter small n. So in case of a parallel position, this capital N is equal to twice of n. हे आपल्याला प्रूव्ह पण करता येतं, पण इथे आपल्याला प्रूफची आवश्यकता नाहीये. By using the experiment we verify this. So remember this thing, the frequency of the tuning fork is double the frequency of the vibrating string. So what is the formula for n? It is p by 12 under root t by m. Put here to cancel and we get the formula for frequency of the string is p upon l under root t by m. So this is the frequency of the tuning fork. From this formula, we get Tp square is equal to n square L square into m. स्क्वेअर करून क्रॉस मल्टिप्लिकेशन केलं तर आपल्याला फॉर्म्युला मिळतो टीपी स्क्वेअर इज इक्वल टू एन स्क्वेअर एल स्क्वेअर इंटू एम. For our convenience to avoid the confusion between the number of loops in parallel and perpendicular, so we use the subscript P for the number of loops here. TP means number of loops in parallel position. In second case, that is in perpendicular position, the frequency of the tuning fork and frequency of the strings are same, means capital N is equal to small n. अतिशय सिंपल लॉजिक आहे की ज्या वेळेला या पॅरलल पोझिशन मध्ये ट्युनिंग फॉर्कच्या प्रॉमची 2 व्हायब्रेशन्स पूर्ण होतात त्यावेळेला स्ट्रिंगच्या पार्टिकलचं एक व्हायब्रेशन पूर्ण होतं, म्हणून इथे कॅपिटल N इज ट्वाइस ऑफ द स्मॉल n घेतोय आपण, म्हणजे ट्युनिंग फॉर्कची फ्रिक्वेन्सी स्ट्रिंगच्या डबल आहे असं म्हणतो. या केस मध्ये मात्र प्रॉमचं एक व्हायब्रेशन कंप्लीट होताना पार्टिकलचं देखील एकच व्हायब्रेशन पूर्ण होतं, म्हणजे फ्रिक्वेन्सी ऑफ द फॉर्क अँड फ्रिक्वेन्सी ऑफ द व्हायब्रेटिंग स्ट्रिंग्स आर इक्वल. सो हियर we get n is equal to p upon 2l under root t by m, and here also to avoid the confusion we use the subscript perpendicular for this p, number of loops in perpendicular position. Here also we get the formula TP perpendicular square is equal to 4 times n square l square into m. So both these formulae shows that TP square in both the cases remains constant, because here capital N for the frequency of the tuning fork which is fixed, vibrating length with capital L is kept constant, and we use the same wire, so m is constant. So in general we say that in case of a Melday's experiment TP square remains constant, but value of TP squares are not same in these two cases. If you maintain the same tension, if you maintain the same tension, means weight in the pan in these two cases are same. This shows that tension on the strings are same. pan मधलं weight same ठेवलं म्हणजे tension same राहणार. So tension जर आपण same ठेवलं, string तीच ठेवली, vibrating length तीच ठेवली, तर आपल्याला या ठिकाणी एक रिलेशन मिळते पहा, number of loops in perpendicular position is equal to p perpendicular square is equal to 4 times pp square, and therefore p perpendicular is equal to 2 times pp. सिंपल वाक्य लक्षात ठेवा की परपेंडिक्युलर पोझिशन मधले नंबर ऑफ लूप्स पॅरललच्या डबल असतात, पण त्यासाठी आपल्याला टेन्शन कॉन्स्टंट ठेवावं लागेल, व्हायब्रेटिंग लेंथ कॉन्स्टंट ठेवावी लागेल आणि ट्युनिंग फॉर्क तोच वापरावा लागेल. अशा प्रकारानं ही मेल्डेज एक्सपेरिमेंटची फॉर्म्युला आहे. तर रिमेंबर दिस फॉर्म्युला फॉर फ्रिक्वेन्सी ऑफ व्हायब्रेटिंग स्ट्रिंग, कॅपिटल N फॉर द फ्रिक्वेन्सी ऑफ tuning fork. In parallel position, frequency of the tuning fork is double the frequency of the string, and in perpendicular position, frequency of the tuning fork and the strings are the same. And number of loops in perpendicular position is double the number of loops in parallel position. So thus we finish the discussion of transverse stationary wave. काय काय पाहिलं आपण ट्रान्सवर्स स्टेशनरी वेव्ह मध्ये? तर सुरुवातीला लॉज ऑफ व्हायब्रेटिंग स्ट्रिंग डिस्कस करण्यासाठी आपण मोड्स ऑफ व्हायब्रेटिंग स्ट्रिंग पाहिलेत, आणि मोड्स ऑफ व्हायब्रेटिंग स्ट्रिंग वरनं जी फॉर्म्युले मिळाली त्याच्यावर आपण लॉज ऑफ व्हायब्रेटिंग स्ट्रिंग डिस्कस केली आहे, आणि त्यानंतर 2 लॉज आपण पाहिली आहेत, 2 एक्सपेरिमेंट पाहिले आहेत आपण, सोनोमीटर एक्सपेरिमेंट आणि मेल्डेज एक्सपेरिमेंट. Now we discuss the longitudinal stationary wave. So to discuss the longitudinal stationary wave, we take the 2 examples: a pipe closed at one end and pipe open at both ends. pipe closed at one end आणि दुसरा पाहणार आहोत आपण पाईप ओपन ॲट बोथ एंड्स. So take here pipe of length suppose capital L. So that pipe is open means air is present in this pipe. Means we say that air column is present in this pipe. So capital L is the length of this pipe, which is nothing but the length of the air column in the pipe. Now how stationary wave is formed here? So take the tuning fork, set the tuning fork into vibration, and such a vibrating tuning fork is held near the open end of the pipe. So here prong vibrates up and down, means here longitudinal simple harmonic progressive wave is formed, and that longitudinal compression rarefaction is created due to the vibration of the prongs near the open end. Means longitudinal simple harmonic progressive wave is formed, which propagate through the pipe and gets reflected from the closed end. So here reflection occurred. So original and the reflected progressive wave superimposed and stationary wave is formed here. So what is the lowest possibility? That is called as the fundamental mode. The antinode is formed at the open end because particles at this end are free to vibrate, while at the closed end this particle is not free to vibrate. Therefore node is formed at the closed end and antinode is formed at the open end. So only half loop is formed. This mode is called as the fundamental mode. Or it is also called as the first mode. So notice what is the mathematical formula in this case. So we know that distance between the antinode and its adjacent node is lambda by 4, and that lambda by 4 is nothing but the length. So lambda by 4 is equal to L. Therefore lambda is equal to 4L, and here we use the letter V for the velocity of the sound. Then we get the frequency N is equal to V by lambda. Lambda is 4L. So N is equal to V by 4L is the formula for fundamental frequency. So here we use the letter C, and NC means fundamental frequency of the closed pipe is equal to V upon 4 times LC, that is the length of the closed pipe. This is the first case. Similarly, in case of open pipe, we discussed the first case. Now here pipe is open at both ends. We use the same letter L for the length of the pipe. So here we use the subscript O. O for open. Set the tuning fork into vibration. Here again means we create the longitudinal simple harmonic progressive wave. That wave propagates to the pipe and gets reflected from the another opening. Means here reflection occur from the denser wall, while here reflection occur from the rarer end. That is the difference. Boundary conditions are what? The antinode is formed at both the ends because particles are free to vibrate, and node is formed in the middle. So this is the fundamental mode in case of a closed pipe. Now observe the diagram. Distance between the two successive antinode is lambda by 2a. So therefore here we get lambda by 2 is equal to L, and therefore lambda is equal to 2L. and therefore it is the frequency in this case. N is equal to V by lambda h, so it is V by 2L. Again, we use a substitute here O, NO and LO. So this is the fundamental frequency in case of a pipe open at both ends. The difference पहा जरा दोघांमध्ये काय. क्लोज्ड पाइप मध्ये फंडामेंटल फ्रिक्वेन्सी आहे V by 4L आणि ओपन पाइप मध्ये आहे फंडामेंटल फ्रिक्वेन्सी V by 2L. फक्त कन्फ्युजन टाळण्यासाठी आपण सबस्क्रिप्ट यूज केलेत LO and LC for the length of the open pipe and length of the closed pipe respectively. Now we consider the second case, means second mode of the vibration. So what is the second mode of the vibration? Use the same pipe. Repeat the same process. Now we consider the next mode of vibration. In this case, antinode is formed at the open end, node is formed at the closed end, but in addition to this, suppose here node is formed and here antinode is formed. So this is the second mode of the vibrating string. Length of the pipe is the same. So therefore here we get L is equal to lambda by 4, lambda by 4, lambda by 4. Means we use the formula L is equal to 3 lambda by 4. So lambda is 4L upon 3. Frequency suppose N1. So it is V by lambda. So therefore it is 3 into V by 4L. V by 4L is N. So therefore N1 is equal to 3N. So if you continue in this manner, we get the frequencies N, 3N, 5N, 7N, 9N like this. याच्यानंतरचा मोड डिस्कस केला तर त्याच्यामध्ये येईल आपल्याला 5 टाइम्स N. रिझन पहा काय, डायग्राम 30 परत दाखवूयात आपण. Antinode is formed at the open end, node is formed at the closed end. In addition, two nodes are formed. Two additional nodes, antinodes are formed. So this is the diagram of the next mode. Lambda by 4, lambda by 4, lambda by 4, lambda by 4, lambda by 4. Which is 5 lambda by 4. So that is why frequency in the third mode is 5 times N. So in case of a pipe closed at one end, we get the frequencies N, 3N, 5N, 7N, 9N and so on, which shows that only odd harmonics are present. Only odd harmonics are present in a pipe closed at one end. Even harmonics are not present. While in this second case, that is pipe open at both ends, in next mode, how many nodes and antinodes are formed here? So this is the second mode. Again antinodes are formed. So this is the diagram of the second mode in case of a pipe open at both ends. Lambda by 4, lambda by 4, lambda by 4, lambda by, means it is 4 lambda by 4. Is 4 times lambda by 4, that is equal to L. So therefore here we get the frequency N1 is equal to V upon L only. So multiply by 2 and divide by 2. So it is 2 times V by 2L. V by 2L is N. So N1 is equal to twice of N. Similarly, next mode, two antinodes are formed at the open end, and now here 3 nodes are formed. Between them antinodes are formed. So solving this one, we get N2 is equal to 3N. आता आपल्याला समरी पाहिजे का, n नंतर 2n, 2n च्या नंतर 3n, म्हणजे इन केस ऑफ अ पाईप open at both ends we get n, 2n, 3n, 4n, 5n, 6n and so on. So this shows that all the harmonics are present. आता हा झाला डिस्कशन आपल्याला पाईप क्लोजर ऍट वन एंड आणि पाईप ओपन ऍट बोथ एंड याच्यावरती एमसीक्यू कुठल्या पॅटर्न मध्ये येतात पहा. तर हे 3 मोड्स आपल्याला जे आपण डिस्कशन केले हे समोर दिसतात, त्याच्यामध्ये नोड्स आणि अँटी नोड्स आपल्याला मोजता येतात. पण याच्यापेक्षा पुढचे जर मोड दिले तर प्रत्येक वेळेला डायग्राम काढून नोड्स आणि अँटी नोड्स मोजणं शक्य नाहीये. आपल्याला एक समरी पाहिजे. समजा याच्यामध्ये प्रश्न विचारला की हाऊ मेनी नोड्स और अँटी नोड्स आर फॉर्म्ड इन द 9th मोड. तर 9th मोडची डायग्राम काढणं अशक्य आहे. याची एक समरी आपल्याला तयार करायची. नंबर ऑफ नोड्स, नंबर ऑफ अँटी नोड्स इन डिफरंट मोड्स of vibration of the vibration of the pipe open at both end and pipe closed at one end. पाहता का? So in case of a pipe open at one end means closed at one end, the number of mode पहा इथे काय मोड. त्याच्यानंतर याला कितवा हार्मोनिक्स म्हणतात, याला कितवा ओव्हरटोन म्हणतात, आणि या हार्मोनिक्स किंवा ओव्हरटोन मध्ये किती नोड्स आणि किती अँटी नोड्स तयार होतात ते आपल्याला पाहिजे आहे. तर मोड मध्ये आपण जाणार आहोत. फर्स्ट मोड ज्याला आपण म्हटलंय फंडामेंटल मोड, सेकंड मोड, थर्ड मोड. या प्रकाराने आपल्याला इथे nth मोड कडे जायचं. मोड ऑफ व्हायब्रेशनला आपण 1, 2, 3 and असं दिलंय. In case of a first mode, we get the frequency n. We get the frequency n. V by 4l आपल्याला फॉर्म्युला आला होता. सेकंड मध्ये आला आपला 3n, थर्ड मध्ये आला होता आपला 5n. असं आपल्याला पुढे कंटिन्यू जायचंय. nth मोड काय होते ते आपल्याला पाहायचं. How many harmonics? So it is called as the first harmonics. It is called as the third harmonics. It is called as the fifth harmonics. 3n आहे म्हणून third harmonics, 5n आहे म्हणून याला fifth harmonics. ओव्हरटोन्स जे आहेत, तर this third harmonics is called as the first overtone. Fifth harmonics is called as the second overtone. How many number of nodes and antinodes are formed in this loop? तर पहिल्या मोड मध्ये पहा काय, one antinode and one node is formed. Number of nodes and number of antinodes. तर पहिल्या डायग्राम मध्ये काय मिळालं होतं आपल्याला, एक नोड आणि एक अँटीनोड. दुसरी डायग्राम मध्ये पहा काय, सेकंड मोड मध्ये we get two antinodes and two nodes. Two antinodes and two nodes. थर्ड मोड मध्ये काय पहा, 1, 2, 3. 3 antinodes and 3 nodes. So this is your summary. जे दिसलंय त्याच्यावरून आपण लिहिलंय. तर या टेबलचं निरीक्षण करून आपल्याला nth मोड मध्ये काय होईल याची फॉर्म्युले तयार करायची. त्याने दॅट इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट फॉर मल्टिपल चॉईस क्वेश्चन. जरा निरीक्षण करा पहा. मोडचा जो नंबर आहे तेवढीच नोड्स आहेत आणि तेवढीच अँटी नोड्स आहेत. फर्स्ट मोड मध्ये 1 नोड 1 अँटी नोड, सेकंड मोड मध्ये 2 नोड्स 2 अँटी नोड्स, थर्ड मोड मध्ये 3 नोड्स 3 अँटी नोड्स. सो nth मोड मध्ये काय होईल पाहता, तर nth नोड मध्ये नंबर ऑफ नोड्स आणि अँटी नोड्स किती आले, n. म्हणजे थोडक्यात मोडचा जो नंबर आहे तेवढीच नोड्स आणि तेवढीच अँटी नोड्स असतात. नंबर ऑफ नोड्स अँड नंबर ऑफ अँटी नोड्स. आता फ्रिक्वेन्सीचा फॉर्म्युला पहा. n च्या नंतर डायरेक्ट 3n आहे, 3n च्या नंतर डायरेक्ट 5n आहे. म्हणजेच कोइफिशियंट जो आहे n चा तो 1, 1 च्या नंतर डायरेक्ट 3, 3 च्या नंतर डायरेक्ट 5 आहे. सो हिअर व्हॉट इज द फ्रिक्वेन्सी? इट इज 2n minus 1. पहा येते की नाही? Put n is equal to 1. So 2 into 1, 2 minus 1, 1n. Put n is equal to 2, 2 to the 4, 4 minus 1, 3n. Put n is equal to 3, 3 to the 6, 6 minus 1, 5n. Is here n for number of mode. So we get the frequency 2n minus 1. And that 2n minus 1 is nothing but the harmonics. So here we get number of harmonics is 2n minus 1. Now see the overtone. थर्ड हार्मोनिक्स ला फर्स्ट ओव्हरटोन म्हटलंय, फिफ्थ हार्मोनिक्स ला सेकंड ओव्हरटोन म्हटलंय. तर 2n मायनस 1 हार्मोनिक्स ला कितवा ओव्हरटोन म्हणायचं? समरी पहा काय होईल. Is it correct or not? Put here n is equal to 1. Overtone, sorry, put n is equal to 2 here. So 2 plus 1 upon 2. This is 3 by 2. So it is not verified. आपल्याला उत्तर यायला पाहिजे 1. So n for the number of mode आहे. Is it possible or not? p plus 1 नाही येणार. तर याच्यात ओव्हरटोनचा नंबर आपल्याला काढायचा आहे. ओव्हरटोन 2n minus 1. तर इथे फक्त ही अरिथमेटिक प्रोग्रेशन ना आपल्याला हा नंबर काउंट करायचा आहे. तो हार्मोनिक्सचा नंबर जो आहे तो हार्मोनिक्सचा नंबर म्हणजे n चा कोइफिशियंट आहे आणि त्या कोइफिशियंट वरनं आपल्याला त्याचा ओव्हरटोन काढायचा आहे. तर या मोडमुळे थोडंसं आपल्याला लेटर मध्ये त्या ठिकाणी थोडीशी डिफिकल्टी होते. तर आपण ह्याच्यामध्ये थोडासा वेगळा प्रकार करूया. याची फ्रिक्वेन्सी जी आहे तर याला हार्मोनिक्सला आपण n नाव देऊया. म्हणजे ही अतिशय सोपा प्रकार होईल. तसंच ठेवूयात आपण हे 2n minus 1 राहू द्या. हार्मोनिक्स वरनं ओव्हरटोन काढायचा आहे आणि त्या ओव्हरटोन्सचा एवढे फक्त जनरल फॉर्म्युले जर आपण लक्षात ठेवले तर आपल्याला कोणत्याही हार्मोनिक्स किंवा कोणत्याही ओव्हरटोनची फ्रिक्वेन्सी कॅल्क्युलेट करता येते. सो वी डिस्कस दिस पार्ट इन द नेक्स्ट सेशन.